Welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to give my Steam Deck some new thermal paste. So I've noticed recently it's been getting extra hot, and then when I've been playing certain games like Resident Evil, it's beginning to start to judder and to freeze. So as we look at the back here, I'm using my thermal camera, we're getting some decent temperatures. The front's not too bad, but it is near the top, which is the issue. So I played Resident Evil for around about 40 minutes and then I took these temperatures. So this is where it's going to really max out. And as you can see, we're getting up to around about 52 degrees C. It could possibly get higher at some point, but I've just recently stopped. So this is quite a high temperature. So first thing we need to do is we need to take the screws out of the back. I'd recommend to make sure you've got a full charge battery before you do this, and I'll explain more near the end of the video on the reasons for this. So you've got all Phillips head screws in the back. Big warning here, do not forget to take out your SD card. If you take the cover off now, you're going to break the SD card, so do not forget. Now you just need to come in with a lipper at the top where the shoulder buttons are and lever a wipe. If this is the first time you've done it, then this is quite tough, especially on original cases. If you've taken it off before, then they can come out quite easy. You will also notice that a couple of clips may break off as well. This just happens unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. Now we've got this heat shield inside that we need to take 2 screws in the corners, top and bottom, then peel this metal foil off, and then we've got 1 screw underneath. This heat shield comes off, and then just very carefully slide the battery out. Don't want to be doing anything while the battery is connected because we don't want to cause any issues. Then we've got 2 more screws on the heatsink itself. These normally are quite tight, so make sure you don't thread them, and then it lifts off. So this is our old paste which we need to clean away. So the best thing I use is isopropyl, and then just very carefully with a cotton bud, just wipe it away. Just take your time, there's no rush. Don't put loads of isopropyl on because there's no need. Obviously make sure you do the other side as well. So make sure they're both nice and clean and ready for the new stuff. I've recently put some new thermal pads on these RAM chips here. You can do the same. So I'm using MX6, which I've just purchased. I've heard good things about it, so I'm going to give it a go. So we just need to put the perfect amount along there. And then we just simply come back in with our heat pipe, pop it into place, give it a little wiggle down, and then pop the 2 screws back in. This screw on the left doesn't actually come out of the heatsink, it stays in there. Then we can reconnect the battery, and then you should get a flash of the light. The heat shield goes back on. And then we've got the 2 screws again, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then this one in the middle which goes on the heatsink itself. Put the foil back over, and then we can put the rear cover back on. Clip it all back into place. So one thing you want to note is the different size screws that we've taken out. So the 4 long screws go on the outer corners, and then the 4 shorter screws go on the inner corners. Do not put them in the wrong way because you've got real chance of causing some severe damage inside the console. And then that's it, we're done. And you can press the power button and we'll turn it back on. So this is where I was saying about having a full charge battery. Sometimes when you first turn it back on, it won't work straight away. If it doesn't work, you need to put your power plug in. Because the battery's been disconnected, it might be like the first time it's being turned on where you needed to have it connected to the mains. First time I tried to do this, the battery was low. When I first tried to turn it back on, it wouldn't load up, and I had to leave it on charge for several hours before it come back to life. The white light on the top was just glowing and I thought I'd broke it. This is why the big warning to make sure you have a full charge battery before you take it apart. First time you turn it back on afterwards, it does take a couple of seconds to boot up, but then it fully boots up and you're all good and working. And then we'll have a little bit of gameplay here. As you can see, the temperatures are not getting to the same as what we had before, so we've definitely made a difference and it's been worthwhile. So hopefully you found the video informative. Hopefully it helps you in some way. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.